For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal. And if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff. And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. My name is Paddy Robinson, and in my lounge room today, I've got Tim Bowen.
Hey boys, how we doing?
Andrew Ferguson.
Hello, hello.
And special guest, Dylan Feldman.
Been a while. Happy to be back on the pod.
Yeah, mate. Welcome back. Welcome back. Nice to have you in the actual seat on the mic. It's always nice.
Special guest. Come on, Paddy. You've butchered the intro once again. Let's pump the man up. He's coming in fresh off a 40-point rating increase to, what is it, Dill?
2008.
2008, which is the highest rated player in Australia. We're sitting in the lounge room with the best player in the country right now, Paddy. How's it feel?
Goodness me.
Actually, no one's been higher in Australia.
Whee!
Oh, we
got the scoop.
Just making the point.
We got the scoop.
Wow.
Anyway, I couldn't let that intro go.
No, it's cool. I just, if Tim ever read the notes, it is like listed further down there. But no worries, Tim. Thanks for jumping
Got
in.
to lead with the gold, Paddy.
Thanks for being prepped.
Got to lead with the gold.
No, Dylan. Dylan has joined us because stoked to hear about your awesome performance recently at the New Zealand Champs and want to hear all about that. But yes, before we get into that, I've got Tim's favourite players meeting. So we have some openings for advertisements on the show. If you're listening and want to advertise to the Australian disc golf community or the disc golf community in general, drop us a line. Also, if you want to show the pod some support, the Patreon is live and well. All of these things can be found via our link tree in the bio of the Tee-Off Instagram page. All right, the news and tournament recap is brought to you by Disc Golf Warehouse. Use the code TEEOFF at the checkout and snag yourself a cheeky little discount.
What's news round the world, round Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Now, before we jump into fellas, news sort of stuff, what's new in your bag? I wanted to segue quickly into that. I've had a couple of new discs in the bag that my bag's been set for a while now. It's pretty hard for a disc to find its way in, but I thought all of you guys have been trying some new stuff, especially Tim. You got a new bag there.
Mate, the whole bag's new, but this is new in my bag.
Oh, there we go.
Because I actually...
a can of Coke.
Mate, I'm cracking the beer because I'm basically in a mini pre-season right now. I don't have a tournament for like a month.
Oh, look, yeah.
Like, I don't. This is a whole new me.
No?
I don't have to go back to back, weekend to weekend tourneys. I've got a break. So I'm cracking the beer.
What's Jetstar
playing some
going to
casual
do
rounds.
without
Yeah.
They're going to go under.
Funnily enough, I just booked Jetstar today with SA Open next month. But
Oh, there we go.
Kat was excited to hear that because she doesn't want him home too much.
Well,
anyway,
Tim,
so my bag's all beers basically right now.
I was going to say, I hope you enjoy a Traveller, Australian's lager, low-cal, just for that beer gut.
Traveller.
Please, sponsors.
Sponsor us?
We're really aiming for that beer sponsor.
Actually, I'm waiting to hear back from Sexyland, so just stand by.
Okay.
We might get something special from
Isn't
there.
that just Prodigy Plastic?
Oi. No, but the whole bag's new. But if we're going to single out one disc, it's going to have to be the Kale LaVisca Falcor.
Falcor. Now, I got no idea.
I think anything that Kale
Driver?
throws, surely that's good.
It's a distance driver.
Okay.
And 13.6 minus 1, 3, I believe, are the numbers.
Okay.
But I've got it in 500 plastic, which is like their primo plastic. And it's pretty
heavy.
beefy.
That's pretty heavy.
It's
500 Gs.
500 Gs. So they get like four times max weight. They definitely go further.
Okay.
But no, she might be the Taipan replacement, just
Ooh,
quietly.
all right.
So
Did you say Falcor?
Falcor.
That's
Seriously?
the
That is-
never-ending
that is the-
never-ending story.
That is the never-ending story
Yeah.
flying dog thing.
So I think that's
That
what
is the best name for the disc.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that they put that to a vote, and that was the best suggestion.
Oh
So it
my
was like
God.
a yeah.
The
I think
never-ending story.
Kale wanted like a cool cartoon character, I think, to be the name of the disc.
so good.
Actually, I
I
think-
might actually throw something
you know-
Prodigy.
No, but seriously, give it check it out. Very, very good disc.
So does that mean like, the Taipans being the never-ending story, in Tim's life? Does that mean the Falcon? We can just hear about Falcor for the rest of...
Anytime you're
You
on the
might.
tee now,
You
I'm
might.
just dropping that never-ending story.
I'm about to submit my review to Infinite Discs, which
Okay.
says, it's good for beginners to pros. It goes anywhere from 50 feet to 450 feet. High as a Annie. Feels great in the hand. Handles any wind. 4.5 stars.
4.5. All right. Nice one. The Falcor. All right. What about you, Fergs?
Look, there's a couple of ones, if I can have a couple.
No, you get one.
I'm rocking my Ricky Orbit Fusion Felon at the moment.
Hang on,
That's
don't you
pretty
just throw Innova?
Are you kidding?
No,
No,
mate.
not for a long time now.
No,
In fact, my
It's full
bag's...
trilogy bag, mate.
well, pretty much actually. I think I've still got a Leopard 3 in there, but apart from that, no, it's all pretty fresh. And
Good
yeah,
man.
I mean, I'm not a massive sidearm thrower because I don't like having a reconstructed a bung elbow.
Just a bung knee.
Just a bung knee, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, so the Felon's pretty good. Flicking a sidearm and taking a little leaf out of Timmy's book.
You just didn't have a Firebird? Because if you had a Firebird,
I've
you
got
would
plenty
do
there,
that.
but I don't know, just trying something different.
Yeah, righto.
Anyway, and then a Berg.
A Berg.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, I got to play with you last week for first time in a while, and you are throwing that Berg well.
It was coming in pretty nicely, yeah.
Mate,
Little glow K1 number.
One of the guys I play with in NZ, hole 10 at Balla, infamous hole. It had only been birdied once ever before the comp. Got birdied a few times. A guy on my card birdied it with a deliberate forehand Berg throw in.
Really?
He got to like 35 metres and went like full stick Berg at the basket and
Wow.
canned it.
Okay.
Pretty
They're
swag.
cheeky like that because you can have a little run, but you're not going to overshoot too far. And
Oh, he was going 50 past it.
Yeah.
He went all out. Shout out Ollie Webb.
Nice. All right. Cool. What about you, Dill? It's new in the bag.
look, similar to you, Paddy. I haven't had a new mold in the bag for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a Rive here. It's a Orbit Rive.
Rive.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Is that actually a word, Rive?
Rive? I don't know
Rive.
what it means.
It just looks like river, but without the R.
Yeah.
And I noticed that. They've got the...
Good. You know how... Yeah.
got the new
They
Strive.
got the river.
how
They
words
got the
work.
Rive. They got the Strive.
Don't you rive someone? Rive?
Okay. Rive apparently is to split or tear apart violently.
Oh.
Okay, so you do that to someone.
Yeah, right. Rip
This
it.
thing did it to the course. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what. So
Split or crack wood or stone.
But with
Oh, wow,
River,
that's actually a cool name. That's
really
disc.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
with River,
Yeah, suck it,
Rive,
Tim.
Strive, are we now going to have a Striver? Is that what's next?
Well, there's Striker. Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's in store?
Mate,
Tim?
honestly, the
Edge of your
latitude
seat.
names of discs.
I know. Edge of your seat, Tim.
They're horrible, mate.
Yeah.
They're flat out, they're horrible.
I'm sorry.
I'd much rather throw a Falcor.
Yeah. We can't all throw FD33695. Yeah.
Whose phone number's that?
Yeah.
Fair call.
Don't know if I'm getting a COVID injection or a new disc.
I have just ordered a H3 V2, which I'm very keen to check out.
is that a new Star Wars character? I'm going to get myself a C3PO.
They could come out with a Star Wars character to fit their lineup, I reckon.
Get the R2D2 putter.
Oh, that's it. It's on.
Okay, so since you asked, yeah, so the new disc I've been playing with, the Pine.
The Pine.
The Pine.
Is that from Westside?
It is a Westside disc. It's a Speed 5402. It's got a great feel to it. No bead, got mid-range, very sort of straight with a tiny bit of fade at the end. Yeah, I just think it feels really nice. And I don't know, I thought, Fergie, you might like it. It kind of has a bit of that MD3 kind of feel, a little bit to it.
And true to Westside, like the stamp is just glorious. Just
Yeah.
got a whopping great big pine tree on it.
But what do you reckon, boys? Name
A
a
pine
disc
tree,
after a
but with
tree.
skulls at the
Yeah,
bottom.
hang on. Dill's got a good point there.
Name and a disc.
How many times you hit a
This-
tree with that, Paddy?
Are we going straight into...
Oh, I've only thrown it a few times, so a few.
I mean, if we're bringing this up, then the river's got to be mentioned as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be throwing that around any water.
Maybe
Spot
it's
on.
pine because you pine over it. I don't know.
That's a bit fancy for me.
Jeez, how romantic of you, Fergs. Cool. Well, there's nice. I like it, boys. If we might bring this one back every couple of episodes if there's a new disc. Well, probably a bit more regular with you, Tim, because you've got a whole new bag.
I wish I bought my Falcor in though. I did get it signed by Luke Humphreys, and he does a little dog print in his signature for Hogan.
Oh, really?
Mate, it's my favourite thing in my bag right now. The
That's
Falcor.
pretty cool. Nice. All right. Next up, we've got some news.
All right, recently we had the Fantasy Park Open 2024, which was a PDGA C-tier over in Waikiki. Sounds like it's in Hawaii or something. Waikiki, Western Australia.
But it's just WA.
It's just another day in WA is their hashtag, I believe. Beautiful actual park there, designed by Chris Finn. Our TD was Paul Noisy Nosen, and assisting him was Damon Williams. And they had 60 players across 13 divisions, no less.
Wow.
So we'll crack into it. MPO winner was Alex Kinniston.
Yeah,
And
right.
he had a good win over Jacob Davies and Patrick Wilson, and had an event average rating of 1,001, which is pretty handy.
Nice.
Yeah, Alex.
Solid.
Important question. Blakey Houston playing?
I didn't see the
knew.
name on the list.
I mean,
Asterisk.
big asterisk on that one. I don't want to call out AK-47, but
He's going to
big
be gunning
asterisk.
for you.
That's it. I want to please explain from Blakey too. Don't tell me he was scared. Must have had something important on.
In MP40, we had Brendan Bennett take out the win, and in FP40, we had the very handy Sue Summers.
Nice.
Oh, shout out this MA1 winner, Fergs. Who,
I will. The MA1 winner was Jonathan Manikhaus.
Manikhaus.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually looked up how to read that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, in English, it's Monk's house. So there you go.
You nailed that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, he won by one throw over our very own tee-off sponsor, Sean Dobbs from the Disc Golf Warehouse.
Oh.
Yeah, so tough titties, Sean. Anyway, no, that's fair. Sean did a good job. He actually, I think he rated about 939 or 940 for the event, which was
Solid,
pretty
yeah.
handy for him. So, so very good.
Dobbs couldn't get the dubs though.
No. I did actually notice that Sean's PDGA profile has Connor Donnelly as the actual face.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
That's hilarious.
Please explain.
Don't know if there's a glitch in the matrix, but Sean, maybe you might want to figure that one out, mate. FA1, Leah Manning, and in MA40 we had Lee Baker, who had a great come from behind win, shooting a 1 under par 915 rated round in the final round.
Yeah, right.
So good on him.
Well done, Lee.
In FA40 we had Joanne McCamish. In MA50 we had Kim Holmes.
Oh, Kimmy.
Kim Holmes, I'll come back to him in a minute.
MA50.
MA50.
What a legend.
MA2 we had Jesse Budge. FA2 we had Julie O'Donoghue. MA3 Michael Jantz. MA4 Kevin Peel, and MJ15 was Tom Baker.
Hang on. There's another budge.
I was just thinking that, buddy. The MA2 budgie.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that could have been Ryan
there's
Budge
two
the way he's
MA2
been playing. You went there first. Well done. Budge is getting
Love
good.
you, Budgie.
He's re-finding some form, Budge.
I know that. Yeah. I'm losing it. He's finding it. We're even through the Inverleigh League.
Yeah, I played with him the other week at the Inverleigh League, and he was pretty handy.
He's
Yeah.
like 910 rated now, Budge. It hurts.
I know.
Yeah.
Because he's like throwing at least 960 plus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He'll turn that around pretty quick.
Same as you, Dill. Bloody rocking up to New Zealand, 960 rated. And yeah.
Oh, I've got Inverleigh Leagues to thank for that.
Shout out. Got a shout out. He did mention today this round
don't
dropped
go
out.
there,
Nah,
Tim.
needs,
Don't go
needs
there.
to
Come
go
on.
there.
Come on. Have
Shout out
mercy.
to Alice Reindl. She managed to beat Dylan on raw score, first Inverleigh League about a year ago. And finally that round's dropped off the rating. So because PDGA...
40 points. That's 40-point jump.
Because that PDGA, that is like they've forgotten about that. I just wanted to remind everybody that Alice walloped Dylan first.
I don't
Inverleigh League.
know. I don't know if you've heard, Tim, that her parents were there, so that's extra motivation.
That is
My
extra-
parents have never showed up.
Mate, we're all happy for her, Dill.
Yeah, no, I'd be really happy for it. Yeah, no, that's
Played
good.
out of her skin, that league, honestly.
The PDJ may have forgot, but Tim never forgets.
Tim never will.
Gotta love Inverleigh
No, we
Summer
love you,
Leagues for
Alice.
just an absolute lottery. What do we have to shoot, Paddy? We'll just shoot like 11 down to get our rating.
50. I've had 1,000 rating, and I shot 15 down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's what you... shoot it then.
As
That's
easy
what
as
you are.
that.
If you're that good, then shoot it.
15.
Do it.
Yeah, the next week I shot 14 down. It was 980.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's the last time I went.
For those playing at home, Inverleigh, Red Course has been played this weekend. So this Thursday. So jump on board.
15 down. 16 down.
Just a quick little notable there from the event. Kim Holmes, he's one of the OGs of Australian disc golf. I've got a little photo here I put on our show notes of him at Rose Bowl in 1923 or something like that. I don't know. He's looking very handsome. Still, he was sporting a mo back then.
I was going to say, I've printed this out on black and white, and they all look like, they've been in the sun for way too long.
Absolutely. Well, he's standing next to Gail. Who got Gail Lynch, Brian Van Allen, Mark Powers, and Benjamin. I can't remember his last name. Anyway, just a quick shout out to Kim though. 88 events with the PDGA, 39 wins. Very handy, mate, and he's done that across a few different divisions, so good on you, Kim.
If Kim sneezed, I reckon a nut would fall out. Yeah.
They are particularly tight white shorts, those shorts.
Yeah.
What have we got coming up, Fergs?
We have the Ruffy Rumble at Ruffy Lake Park in Melbourne on February 17th and 18th, which of course is a Disc Golf Victoria Tour event.
That's actually 2 events though.
Yeah.
Like it's making it sound like it's 2 days, but it's a 2 round in one day for certain divs and then 2 round in one day for the other divs on the second day.
Which I kind of like.
You kind of like?
Yeah.
Mate, that's going to be a big day up at Ruffy, that's for sure.
Yeah. But it's allowed for more people. It's allowed for my late ass to sign up.
Honestly, Paddy.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, are Melbourne pushing bloody 200 members or something ridiculous like that now? I don't know. They've got a lot of members.
I think
150.
Well over 150.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
there you go.
Who's playing?
At that one, I'm not too sure, actually. We'll
I
have to-
can't play.
You can't play?
No, I couldn't go to Sizzler, so I teed up to catch up with my friends in Canberra that weekend prior, and then they announced Ruffy was on. So, yeah, too late. Couldn't make it.
Good. Thanks, Al.
Well, one that you're also not making it to is the ACT Championships, which is the Sizzler 2024 on February 24th and 26th.
Better be a bloody good wedding, Ryan Michelle, is all I'm going to say. It better be a bloody good wedding.
It's all right. The drinks will be flowing.
Oh, yes. Of course, it's an ADG major. We've got Phil Tweed as TD, and assisting him is Adam Stewart, who is the president of ACT Disc Golf. Currently there's 151 registered players, which is awesome, and it's being hosted at Western Park. And a quick shout out, it's going to be on the new Rad Ace V2s, because they pulled out all of the RPM Helix there, and they replaced them with the Ace V2s, which is pretty exciting.
And they chucked him into the lake, right? They're gone?
I believe they're going to be repurposed at another location.
Yeah, okay.
Which is
Just
great.
put a bin liner on them, and yeah, there you go. You got 18 fresh new bins.
I tell you what though, they need
Probably
baskets in ACT, because those guys are doing some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of new courses going in, and we've just sent some baskets to a school up there as well that are going to be installing a course. So pretty cool.
Yeah, just on Sizzler, because it's the first big comp of the year, really. We have a bit of a tee-off exclusive. Dylan Feldman confirmed he's got work off, and he will be making the Sizzler. Ooh. So, Dill, you're at the top of the list. You are my tip for the Sizzler. But, boys,
thanks, Tim.
What about your tips?
Oh, man.
I'll rattle off some names. You've got all the big boys: Dave Perry, Lukey
Yeah.
Bain, Austin D'Alessandro, Dan Frost, Chris Hill, Jade Brady. The list goes on.
Look, it's going to be very hard to go past the gentleman sitting next to me, but if I did have to, it would have to be the DP himself, I think. David
Far
Perry.
Yeah.
Yep, far up.
Came home very strong in New Zealand, actually. So,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
liking
looking
his form.
He's been looking pretty solid. I mean, Bainey didn't
And playing
have
pretty solid, actually, as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Looking pretty solid and playing pretty
Oh,
solid.
yeah, as always. Bainey, look, he didn't have the greatest showing in New Zealand, but I think that means he'll just come back all the stronger.
Yeah,
for
it's
the
hard
next
not
one.
to tip Bainey.
Yeah.
Even though you've got a guy, 828 rated Artem Zakharov, who may have registered in the wrong division. You want to go him? Genuine smoky.
But look,
That's got to make Sean
I
Freeman
can't
feel
honestly
better.
one.
Yeah, definitely.
A local boy's like won this quite a few times, so I don't know. Austin, I'll throw out Austin.
Tim?
Yeah,
I'm going Dill.
Okay,
I jumped on.
So you
Mate,
led with that, yes.
Dill all day.
Can I chuck a tip in? I'm
sure,
gonna go.
but you can't
Can't bet on it.
Yeah, no, if it's not myself, I'm going to chuck a smoky in, kind of. Jade.
Jade Brady.
Yeah, I reckon Jade.
Yeah.
He's had a rough trot the last little bit, but I reckon he's due for one.
yeah.
Love to see Jay get up.
Go back to back. That'd be cool.
I reckon an Artem might beat him in a round.
That's a real smoky.
All right. if that happens, what's Jade got to do?
What do you mean?
Yeah, if
Drive
he
to
gets
Inverleigh and
beaten
jump in
over-
the dam.
Oh, yeah,
round.
no.
No, you call it.
Could be a, actually, we need to do an FPO tip as well. We've got Jen Lan, Sam Ockerby, and Sarah Lee. So good little threesome.
Sam's come up to Open.
Yeah, playing FPO.
Oh, good for you, Sam.
Absolutely. Well, she did take her FA1 in the
Yeah.
Aussie Champs, so yep, stepping up.
Anyway, I'm tipping Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee?
Highs a flight, through and true.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tricky.
It's the Sam Aces.
Have we seen
Yeah.
Jen play since she took out nationals?
No,
I
but
don't think so, actually.
she's got a big arm on her, which she'll need at Western. But no, I'll go on. Go on, Sam. Play smart, play safe, play well.
JL for me.
I'm going Sam. Aces. Let's go.
Yeah. Ace
Rightio.
mate.
Good luck with that.
Just rounding out the events for the next couple of weeks, we've got the Yoronga Memorial presented by Disc Golf Warehouse and Tacky Sack on February 24th up in Vegas. And then we have in Burnie, Tasmania, the Crayfish Cup on February 25th.
Awesome.
Nice.
Now, we had a couple of little events across the ditch in New Zealand, which I need to recap. We've had 3 stops of the Tour Down Under, with one more remaining, being Paradise, which goes down this weekend, I believe. Let's
Right.
go back to the Topor Classic.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reese for telling me how to say that word. Not Taupo, for those playing at home.
Toe-paw. Yeah.
Topor. So Corey Ellis had a nice big fat win to open this one. He beat Levi Stout by 2 shots, and Maxime Tangi, who's what's the media company over in New Zealand? He's one of the crew behind those guys.
More disc golf media.
MDM.
Yeah. MDG.
That's what it stands for.
MDG Media.
Yeah, right.
But they're actually from Europe.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah.
he's Belgium himself, isn't he?
Yeah, so he travels with them.
He unfortunately pulled out of the next few comps, but he shared 3rd place with Nate Perkins. So well done to those guys. FPO was taken out by Juliana Corva, who had a very nice win over Zoe Andoke. And I believe, just very consistent. She had a good round 2, which round 2 at Topor, I don't know if you saw the coverage at all, it looked miserable. Like proper, like persistent mills of rain all day. No wind, apparently, but yeah, it looked bloody miserable. Shout out to a few Aussies that went over there as well. Austin D'Alessandro, Connor Donnelly, who unfortunately DNF'd this one, and Reese Wiz, who played above his rating, I believe, for that one. No, just under. So bad luck,
Just
Reese
under?
boy.
I was
But
going to say,
yeah, the glove didn't pay out
The gloves-
in the rain, unfortunately. Now, the next stop was a big one, the 46th New Zealand National Championships, and it may as well have been taken out by our man Dylan Feldman, right?
yeah, that's all we cared about.
a podium place still, huge, particularly after not playing much of the last year, battling a back injury. We'll talk about it a little bit more later on, but that must have felt good to step up on the podium alongside Luke Humphreys in 2nd place and the man Corey Ellis with a huge commanding win in 1st place.
Surreal. Yeah, we'll get into it later, but it was surreal.
Yeah, unreal. Just have a look at some of these ratings, and maybe before we have a look at the ratings, the Nationals was played on 2 courses, Ballaraka and Redwood Golf Course, which was a nice open style but very well designed golf course with just plenty of OB. And Ballaraka was just a bloody nightmare if you don't have a good, reliable backhand that can turn over and hit some lines.
Yeah, okay.
I'll testify to that.
Yeah.
But really, really good course. Dill, what do you think of the 2 courses?
I loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they complemented each other pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean-
like you got distance, and even still, you had to. It was designed really well, like you said, Tim, at Redwoods, and then Ballaraka was just beautiful.
Yeah, so good.
Every part of the game that you didn't have to use at Redwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed everything at Balla, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think, like, even par was, what, like...
it was 1,012 in perfect conditions on the last day.
Yeah.
and 1,030 on the first day when we had 50 kilometre-hour winds.
Say that again.
That's-
Even par was 1,030.
Wow.
Thereabouts.
Like-
yeah.
There were a couple of par 3s out there that were genuine par 4s. Like, they were kind of like 130 metres and really needed your disc to make, like, 2 distinct, like, angle changes.
Right.
So, like, a high as a flip and then a fade at the end, or a forehand that pushed and then had a big skip and then, like, another little skip at the ends.
I will say, though,
So-
we saw them all birdied, and they were clean shots that got there. So I was sceptical at first, but I think well designed.
Yep.
Because you could get there with a clean shot, but it's just...
I mean,
we don't have any holes like that here. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean, Bella is Feezy's home property.
Yeah.
So I reckon that thing has been worked and reworked and
Honed.
worked for a long, long time.
And it will be reworked again. The first 3 holes, which played sort of around apple trees and things like that, and fruit, sort of that sort of open big hyzes. That section of the course is going, I believe, because
Okay.
that's not part of his property. That's just like they loan it out for the.
Oh, is
tourney.
that at the front?
At the front?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
they were my best holes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, They were kind of tough. Like, to be honest, they were ones where, like, we were just trying to get par because they took like a 130 metre hyzer, which was kind of tough for a lot of the field. But
accurate with OB near the basket
yeah,
too.
OB right
On 1
there
and
as
3,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's adding more wooded nightmares in the middle of the course. Like
Cool.
I remember hole 11, we had a 40-minute backup, and I like sort of wandered off into the jungle to take a leak, and then I just happened to be right next to a basket, and I'm like, this is a fairway? Like where am I meant to throw here? So yeah, look forward to that next year because it's certainly going back.
Well, we're going to talk to Dill about it a bit later on. But Tim, how did you find you played it? Tell us about your
not great
your tourney.
Oh, look, to be honest, I think I played it reasonably well. As I said, a few of the holes, it was just purely trying to get a par.
Yeah.
I found 1 or 2 holes each of the 4 rounds where I just went full MA4 and just made not just like a small shank, but just like the worst possible mistake you could do. So I pretty much shot my rating, but there were easily 4 or 5 shots every round that were just like so avoidable if I didn't go complete muppet.
Is this
and look,
you
to be
talking
honest,
Bella or
both.
Redwood?
Yeah,
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even at Redwood. I mean, look, to be honest, some of it was genuinely not knowing my discs. Like
Yeah.
the conditions were really testing. They
How
were-
much of the bag was new?
all of it.
You did go all-
I went back to Firebirds and Taipans late,
Yeah. Okay.
just because my confidence was
Yeah.
dashed. And it's just I've thrown the discs a little bit, but haven't thrown them in like 40k wins.
That's tough.
And like
yeah.
some of the gusts were just mental that we got at Bala in particular.
Mm.
So it was really a bit of a lack of disc knowledge. And there was one at Redwoods, like I had a 45 metre wide open backhand upshot, and I just threw it straight OB because I was like, oh, okay, this disc is actually pretty good in the headwind.
Yeah. Right.
Not like the other one I used to throw. So
Okay.
yeah, learning. But anyway, really,
putters. How'd the putt feel?
putt was good.
Yeah,
Yeah, putt was good.
Nice.
I've got to shout out to the FPO winner, Juliana Korva. Had another win over Zoe Andike, but it was really close. It came down to the last few holes, and she just kind of nudged away on the second last hole. Kept it clean, Juliana. So well done.
Is
there.
there FPO coverage?
Yeah.
That's a yeah. I don't think it's
There is?
More
it out?
Disc Golf Media.
Is it out
did
already?
All the FPO rounds.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they were definitely out there filming, which
Yeah.
was great to see.
I got to admit, I've only seen 2 minutes of footage, Dill, and I'll bring that up later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll move on to the next one. The 2024 Bottle Lake Open presented by Ideo Sports. And I've got to shout out Ideo Sports. They, of course, make the shoes. Every amateur player at this tournament gets a pair of Ideos, which, like... they're like-
Massive.
that's huge.
Yeah,
they're like...
Yeah.
$200.
They're like $200 plus. They were $200 like with the good deal that they had going at New Zealand. Like they're like $200 US normally, I think.
Yeah,
so
that's huge.
Mental. I did have a look. I think you can register for the comp for $130.
Yeah. Right.
I was trying to find someone I could just register and just cover their entry just to get a free pair of shoes. Like I was like Henry the TD. I'm like, if you find a kid, yes, he wants US size 11s, but I'll pay for his reg.
Freddie's got a PDJ. Man. You should have just reached out.
Yeah, Henry's like, I'm not encouraging it. No, but shout out to Ideo for getting around, and they're a big reason why Corey Ellis was able to come across, which is
Yeah.
awesome stuff.
By the way, just a little side note. Met Henry for the first time. What a legend.
Yeah, good
just
dude.
an absolute stand-up guy.
Yeah?
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
He's a great guy.
Good dude.
Sweet. All right.
I got him to sign the
Come
tournament
back.
disc. Like I had all the pros signing it. and
He's
I
never
got
been
him-
happier, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
He's
I made his
never been
day.
happier.
He's like, really? Me signing a disc? So, yeah, I'm like, mate, you're like the Jeff Spring of New Zealand. Anyway, we're on to the Bottle Lake Open. This one was taken out by a New Zealand local, Levi Stout, a young
Yeah.
gun. How old is he, Jill? He's
17.
17. And just like way better than any of us will ever be at disc
Yeah.
golf. Just a genuine gun.
He's a pretty quiet young fellow, isn't he? Pretty reserved.
Oh, no, you're
No?
pretty chirpy. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It does a lot of commentary for MDGM. Did I get that right?
MDGM.
Yep.
Right.
He's pretty good on the comms. Him and
Okay.
Max, very, very good banter. But yeah, he beat Luke Humphreys by a single shot. And I delved into the run home. Luke Humphreys went eagle par birdie.
Wow.
And apparently that's leaving the door open because Levi Stout went eagle, birdie to finish the comp,
Jeez.
which is
Man.
just slamming the door shut.
Did I hear something about Corey Ellis being on his bag?
Yeah, so Corey Ellis DNF'd after the first round, had a bit of a groin niggle, and offered his services.
You would have rubbed that out, Tim, wouldn't you?
Mate. But he offered his services to Levi on the bag. So imagine that, just having a 1033 or whatever Corey's rated caddy. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty handy. We'll never get that.
sound like a broken record here, but Juliana Korver got a massive win. Zoe Andyke, unfortunately, DNF this comp, and that just let Juliana romp home to a 31-shot victory over
31.
She had quite
Her
the
first
tour,
round,
didn't she?
Yeah, right.
She had
first round.
her first round. I was about to shout that out, Dill. She shot a 10.19 opening round,
Shit.
Juliana.
Good on
Bottle
ya.
Lake's a really, really wooded course, and look forward to watching that on coverage because her smooth backhands through the trees.
Yeah,
Something
that's
to
that
see.
Juliana Korver, that rookie of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it,
Rookie of 1908. Yeah.
mate.
Been around a long
Good on
time.
Absolute legend of
yeah.
the sport, and genuinely starstruck when I saw her. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's
fit.
got it all.
Yeah.
very fit.
and can a wicked freestyler.
Yeah,
Wicked freestyle. If you don't follow her on the socials, jump on, have a squiz. She's always doing some post about her freestyling, and she
Yeah.
can spin a disc.
Yeah.
Really
me too.
cool.
If you want to watch an ultra star nosedive at right angles into the sand, let me throw it. I'll tell you what.
That's one thing that would be really cool to learn.
Oh yeah,
Some freestyle.
I've tried a few times. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I think I saw you on Good Morning Australia or something trying to freestyle. Wasn't you?
Oh God, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Is that in Perth?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Okay, there you go.
it's great.
Was that before or after the ace on Totally Wild?
Oh, here we go. All right.
definitely-
Anything more, fellas?
It's definitely after because this was not peak.
I was struggling with the freestyle when I learned I had to put on a fake nail
Yeah.
to spin the disc. So yeah, there you go.
Are we pumping up Fergs too much here?
Come on.
Watch the footage.
So Tim will bring you down in a minute. It's all right.
Yeah, I got to say it's easy to putt when you don't have to, Fergs? Just ace all the holes. All right, now that's enough New Zealand and that's enough Aussie stuff. We've got to talk about the start of the US disc golf season because it's going down literally on Friday. We've got the All-Star weekend, which I asked you boys, does anyone care about All-Stars? We don't really.
It's a nice little open up, but none of the big boys are in it yet. Like,
Oh, they
you know-
kind of are. Like,
No,
I'll
but
just
they're
run through the,
not-
I'll just
but
run
they're
through the
not
teams.
pumped. But do you know what I mean? They're not. None of them are going to come out firing. They're
It's
just
like the
they'll start slow.
first round of AFL or the preseason kind of crash. Yep.
Yeah,
That's it.
So
Look,
that's
just-
why Tim's pumped because Essendon always comes out strong. Yeah, he's like, we're going to win a flag. No,
I'm realistic. Like we're looking at 11th this year. Anyway, no, the big guys are playing, but disc golf's a solo sport. I think that's why none of us care about sort of the team-based stuff as much. So these are the teams. Team Heimberg, captained by none other than Calvin Heimberg, versus Team Isaac Robinson. So Heimberg's got Calvin, Ricky, Matty O, AB, Proctor, and Dickerson, which is a good team. Isaac Robinson's got himself, Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, Cole Rodalin, Ezra Robinson, and Aaron Gossage. And I'm all over Team Robinson, if I'm being honest.
How were these picked?
Zero
Do we know?
clue.
No.
Yeah. That's a young crew. That
Yeah.
second team.
I'll have a look at the
Not bad.
ladies.
It's the
Team
average.
Own Scoggins is Own, Kat Mersch, Hayley King, Macy Valadiaz, Jess Weiss, and Henna Bloomross. And Team Missy Gannon has herself, Holland Hadley, Ella Hansen, Kat Allen, Sarah Hokum, and Ali Smith. And on paper, I kind of like the look of... I think I like the look of Team Gannon, to be honest.
Well, interesting bit of beef that came out of that, actually.
Oh, here we
I
go.
don't know if it's real or
dish.
just...
Spill the tea.
Dish.
Spill the tea.
Missy Gannon quoted as saying boring to Own Scoggins' team because I'm pretty sure they're all Innova sponsored and she's a little salty that they're all
Own,
picked on the
Kat,
same team.
Macy.
So she's coming
I
out
mean,
firing.
Macy's DGA, so...
Okay, there we go. Mostly then.
Yeah. And what's Gannon? You got Missy, Holland, Discraft, Ella, Discmania, Cat Allen, DGA. Yeah, a bit of a mix. I think they're the better team anyway.
Nah, Cat Allen's too much a liability, surely.
Nah, she'll
As
come
long
out
as
firing.
she takes the bag off when she's putting, she's fine.
She won't, though. That's the worst thing.
No,
Anyway.
no KT yet.
Own.
No Europeans, really. Oh, well, there's a couple, but no KT.
Look, I can't be bothered looking at the format and all that. We're going to have to just...
Is this the accuracy and that is it?
Don't
that
know.
thing they
Look,
did
just
last
put it
time?
out of
They
your
play
minds.
Ultimate as well. They
Let's
have
be
a round of
honest. Let's be honest. None of us are going to watch it. But the following week is when the season kicks off a proper, and it's no longer Las Vegas Challenge. We are playing, listen to this, the chess.com Invitational
Ugh.
in Florida.
The chess.com
Checkmate.
invitational.
Checkmate.
So, checkmate, there you go. No, I just want to touch base on this because chess.com is like a multi-million-dollar business. Like, it is massive.
Yeah.
the only reason they're really sponsoring those because they happen to be massive disc golf fans as well.
Okay.
But man, does it just
I mean-
propagate the
I mean, we're looking for sponsors, so yeah, chess.com. That's awesome, mate. Good on those guys. Bunch of legends.
Paddy, which way is the bishop move?
Diagonal. Yeah, blow it out your ass, Tim.
King me. No, but like chess.com, like they're just propagating the image of disc golf being the nerdiest sport ever by now associating with chess.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Brilliant.
Step in Kristen Tatar and then lifts the game with a Porsche partnership.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that just kind of levels out, I reckon.
Do we know what any
it's
sort of prize money is? Are they throwing some cash at it?
I got no clue, but look, to be honest,
It'd
it
be
was
good
good.
if Magnus Carlsen came along and had a go.
I think Magnus Carlsen is literally going to be at the
Holy
event.
shit.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Well, he might be
That's
related
pretty
to.
cool. I don't even play chess, but I know him. He's like a rock star. Fucking.
I think he may be related to Linus Carlsen. They
No.
alluded to him having a cousin or a nephew that was like a good player or a pro in Europe. And I'm like, it must be Linus Carlsen.
Maybe.
Very cool.
Similar.
That's
Wow.
interesting.
That's sick.
That's cool.
But anyway, look, I don't know anything about chess other than the fact that it's long and I don't like playing it. But good to see them get around a comp. And chess.com Invitational is going to be an absolute cracker. Oh, boys, I want some tips. And they're on new Florida course, so we don't have to watch windy, sort of boring old Vegas. Now we've got a new place that I don't really know the course, but surely it's going to be a step up on the end of a challenge at Las Vegas.
Yeah. Cold and windy.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. No, that sounds cool.
I mean, look at the list. You got Heimberg, Paul Macbeth, Matteo, Ricky Wysocki, Lizotte, Burr, Isaac Robinson, Dickinson, Nicholas Antilla. Lots of people throwing some sort of new bags.
Yeah, new bags. Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon probably someone stable. Like then.
Have we got
Paul?
Eagle? I don't see.
Has Paul sorted out his arm?
Eagle's not playing till Champions Cup, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. No Eagle. But
thought
yeah,
he
the
was-
list looks stacked.
Paul was going for an operation or something. Ricky.
I haven't heard anything.
You going
say
Ricky?
Ricky. We'll go Ricky.
I'll go homeboy Garrett Gerthy.
Double G.
Double
Okay.
G. Florida native.
Yeah, good tip.
Okay.
My heart goes with. Oh, I was going to say my heart goes with Calvin Heimberg. I'd love to see him get a win.
Yeah.
I can't really look past Isaac or Ezra Robinson, and that obviously a bit of prodigy bias there. But like, I just think
Here we
that they are going to blow up this year. They're going to have an absolute huge year. But I think I will look past them for this one, and I'm going to go with Gannon Burr, new bag, and he'll come out and make a statement.
Yeah.
Most winningest player last year, Gannon Burr.
Oh, really?
So he's my tip. Anyway,
Okay.
recap's blown past the allotted time frame, Paddy. So let's move.
I did blow it out.
on.
It used to be 10 minutes, but I was like, nah, never.
So there's no-
Did you-
is that the only event on? There's no more events on?
That's
I
the
thought
only
maybe
one.
we want to see the Mahjong Open or something.
Yeah, get a load of this guy. First on, he encroaches on my recap, and now he's just throwing in little quips at the end.
Moving on.
All right.
Looking for help with course design and installations, a new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disco and to catch up on the latest disco trends.
All right. So the interview this time round is with none other than special guest, highest rated in Australian history.
10:08.
10:08. Dylan Feldman. Dylan. Ooh. Yeah, I don't have the applause anymore. That's all right.
hurt.
How does it feel having a 40-point PDJ rating jump? Like that's just like
How long has it been since
Bit
you
of
had?
sweet because it means it was 40 points lower than what it is now. Mm-hmm. No, it's good.
But like you don't have
Good.
jumps like that anymore. Most people are like that's their first ever rating, and then they're like steadily up or down a little bit. This is a 40-point jump into the 4 digits. What you would have been like 15th highest in the country or so
Before this, it was actually like 8th or 9th.
Okay.
I looked
Yeah.
at
I was gonna say,
it
you
yesterday
were
because I knew
still
that
confident.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, you were 5 points higher than me last week, and now you're well and truly where you need to be, right up the tippy top.
It's nice to give people hope, Dylan.
Hey, I went up 2 points if you're asking. Were you asking? I'm pretty sure you asked. Did you ask?
Did I?
Yeah.
I asked with my eyes.
As long as you see green, it's fine.
It's a good start with Prodigy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to see if I went up. I probably didn't. I haven't gone up for a while.
You did not.
Dylan's
Did not.
checked.
He's already checked.
How good is that when it's ratings day and you check yourself and then almost as quickly you check about like 10 of your mates? Just like, let's see where they are at. I love it.
No, congrats, still. So we've already touched a little bit on New Zealand, but let's put a little bit of background. 40 points. You're only dropping that much because you've played through a back injury for what, 18 months now? Have you had
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah. December 2022.
Yeah, wow. Okay. So, well,
Etched in your mind.
The
The day before Christmas, literally. Yeah, we had barefoot bowls the day I couldn't pick up the bowls off the floor.
yeah, right.
I won, but I couldn't pick up the bowls.
Were you using that little stick?
Just to
that they
pick them
use?
up. Just to pick them up, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, Dill, the burning question on my lips and probably a few people around Australia is, how is the back feeling and how did it feel during the tourney?
That's a great question. To be honest, it felt pretty bad when I wasn't throwing.
Okay.
In between finishing 18 and stepping onto one the next day, it was in my mind like, am I going to be throwing tomorrow? But yeah, I think I had a pretty good routine. The boys I travelled with, Timmy and Sean
That's
and Dave
it.
Perry.
There's a lot of massage gunning happening in our little house.
Yeah, and then we promised it was just the massage gun. So
No, we had a routine. We get home, it was ice, massage gun, and then Shawnee and I would just dominate those boys at 500.
Oh.
And that was good recovery.
I love 500. I don't know many people our age that plays 500.
Oh, Dylan and David, they've retired, unfortunately. Yeah.
nah, we still have unfinished business from the airport, Tim.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I reckon Sean took a tacky in the bathroom. You guys were losing momentum and he just decided to go and munt.
We were losing momentum. Meanwhile, they were losing open misère. But anyway, let's push on.
Back on track. Come on.
Oh, mate. Right, we're playing 500 soon. Anyway, so the back felt shit.
The back, well, it just, it didn't feel like I could get through 4 rounds of those courses without pain, which I did. I got through 3 rounds when I was throwing without pain, which was massive because those courses were pretty challenging physically. And then I got through about 11 holes in the 4th round before I started to feel pretty sore when I was throwing. And I think just adrenaline at that point just got me through.
And morphine as well. It's a good drug.
Adrenaline and a bit of morphine.
Cocaine's a hell of a
The
drug.
adrenaline was real, though. Like, this was, I don't know about you, but this felt like the biggest comp that I played, like, since USA DGC, really.
This felt like the biggest comp I've ever played.
Yeah, 4 rounds, 2 massive courses, and you mentioned how grueling they were, not just in terms of throwing full stick, but like walking up and down in the jungle. It was bloody hot, it was raining at times, windy, and you're playing against probably the best players you've ever played against in Corey
the
Ellison.
field was insane.
Like,
you, Tim.
So good.
Mate, let me know when you're 1033 rated, buddy. The guy can shred.
Yeah.
But no, like, were those 2 of the toughest courses you've ever played, would you say? Like, where would Balla rank? Redwoods was open enough that you could score on.
Bella's up there. Redwoods, I feel like I didn't take advantage of enough. I think the theme for me for the weekend, I'm going to kind of go a little bit off track here, maybe answer a question you haven't asked. But I didn't feel like I played any rounds super hot. I didn't feel like during the rounds, I didn't have that feeling of I'm in player 2 and I'm just throwing without having to think. But I didn't have any massive meltdown moments. You know, like I had 1 3-putt the whole weekend, which is very un-Dylan-like. So I didn't have any meltdowns on the green. I didn't have any shanks off the tee, apart from that one on hole 10 in the 4th round. If you haven't watched that, go and watch it on GK
bloody
Pro.
tee signs. Do we need them? That's trash or cash.
Well, I feel like that was well out of the way. That's probably on me.
Thank you. That's a good segue back. So the only 2 minutes, Dylan, that I have watched is that drive.
Was that from that blooper channel, which
Yeah.
I'm bucket list actually?
No,
Featured on a disc golf blooper channel.
Ryan Hart showed it to me very quickly.
Did he show you the next shot?
He did.
The
How on
red
earth
shot?
did
Yeah.
you get up and down?
Yeah.
That's what I want to
which
know.
was impressive.
You can see Corey Ellis's reaction. He walks up and he points to my disc, points at me, says, "Wait, how'd you get here?" I was like, "I re-teed." He's like, "Dude, no way. That's sick." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
So,
Just followed your line, Corey.
well, I asked him what the line was because I'd never thrown that line before. And he's like, "Oh, you just go left of that tree up in the sky." I was like, "All right."
Yeah,
Couldn't have
wow.
worked for him because in that last round we were putting on 13, 3 holes later, and ran into Corey Ellis down there. That's where his drive landed.
Yeah, he just missed the line. But
right.
anyway, so
Yeah.
ended up
I
with
saw
the same
the
score.
fly through for that hole and it looked ridiculous. That was a par 3, yeah?
Yeah, I went the forehand and missed the tee sign in the first round and had like a 10-meter birdie putt, which I missed, but
Yeah.
I think if I was to play it again, I'd go the big hyzer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, like, did you have a caddy? Didn't during?
Sean Freeman, shout out.
Yeah.
Round 2 and
What a good
3
boy.
at Redwoods.
Yeah.
He trudged over after finishing his round, met me at hole 9 both times and caddied for the back 10 holes,
Yeah, mate.
which was massive.
That's what ace holes do, Tim.
Yeah.
Mate,
Shout out to Sean.
If I finished early enough, I got there for the last couple of holes after my tea time. And I got you.
But
Hey, hang on,
yeah, the
hang on,
massage
hang on.
gun
go.
already out.
I jumped.
Sean was good.
I was like, Sean, take a seat here. I got some caddy intel for Dill on hole 18 at Redwoods. And yeah, he parked it twice, mate.
Which, yeah, I hadn't thrown a backhand on 18 before, and Tim gave me a little
You listened to Tim?
insight, and that's what I was going through my mind. I'm like, do I listen to him? But I was terrified of the only other option, so I gave it a go. And
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Genuine, like, highlight. Big hyzer over the trees.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
back to the caddy question.
Yep.
So Sean, back 9, middle 2 rounds, and then I had a local, Ben, don't know his last name, but offered to caddy for me in the 4th round, and because he had an umbrella and it was stinking hot. So
Yeah, right.
he's like, I'll carry a bag as well.
Well, that would have helped the
It
back
was
as well, I'm sure.
Made a massive difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. All right. So, what was it like playing? So, Corey Ellis, Luke Humphreys, and I saw the Poe Man on there at one stage. Paul Oman.
Tall Paul Oman.
Tall Paul. I like it.
As Henry introduced him, he's got the mo and he's got the flow. Tall Paul Oman.
I love it. Mate,
If only they said that about you.
Oh, no. It was there. I'm like, I'll let someone else say it.
He's got the mo and he misses low.
Hey,
he's got the mo and he misses low. That is a Fergie.
you haven't seen me putt lately, okay? Just to hold your
I have, and accurate.
You have not. You have not played
shit.
with me.
Mate, there is your logo, please.
Oh, put it on a disc.
Next
then.
time we do
Fine.
commentary, that's coming out. That's awesome. Speaking of commentary, like GK Pro getting the next day coverage happening after each event, like we've done commentary, we know how much work it is.
Yeah.
This is Luke Humphreys and Paul Oman rushing off the course. I don't know how the crew are editing it and getting it ready, and it's just out the next morning. Like we're waking up able to watch the coverage. It's insane.
Unreal. They
That's huge.
Don't have
Love those boys on commentary too.
Yeah. I am really keen to actually get, a little bit of time to sit down and watch it all. But what was it like playing with those big stars, big names?
So cool. When I made lead card after the first round, I was pretty stoked to even get one round with him. Held it for after the second round, and then I was like, all right, my goal's now just to let's see if I can play with him the next day, and it was so much fun. I just had to stop comparing my game to theirs pretty early because that's when I started to falter at the start of round 2, and once I just focused on enjoying watching them play in person rather than over YouTube, that's kind of when my game started to work as well, and just had a great time.
You had a few comments and some commentary about your form being super smooth. I think they were pretty impressed with the way that you threw the disc.
Yeah, they were kept on telling me in person as well, not just on the commentary. So that was pretty cool.
So, all right, well, what were some of the comments?
Well, yeah,
What were the praises?
Luke loved my forehand.
Yep.
Loved my forehand. I'm sure Corey did too, but didn't tell me. So. And I was anyway. So I outdrove Corey a few times on Redwoods, and there's some long holes where you're opening up. So I was pretty happy with myself, and I kind of asked him, "Hey, I think I can throw pretty far. Like, how do you reckon I'd stack up
In
the US? I've always wanted to know, and you'd be the guy to know." And he's like, "Yeah, you'd definitely be up there among the big guys." So that was pretty cool to hear.
Very cool.
But yeah, they seem to enjoy playing with me, which is nice.
Good card vibes.
Yeah, super nice guys to play with.
Chatty.
Chatty at the right times, but you could tell they were taking it seriously too, which was good fun to see. Good fun to see them kind of battling it out. And they mentioned it was like the first event of their pro tour. So they were not on holiday. Their work year had started.
Yeah.
So to say. So
Well, judging by, from the sounds of the level, the course of play that the course demanded a level of play that they needed to bring. So it doesn't sound like you could really relax on it.
Those scores, those
Yeah.
guys played insane. Like Corey Ellis put in 2 1070 rounds.
which
wild.
he believed that they felt like
Yeah,
that too.
they
Like
were-
hearing him speak up.
They were next level.
Yeah. That's really cool.
His European Open win, he finished the same amount under par, and averaged less. So you could say it was a better performance than his European Open.
Okay.
Just
as well.
on that, got to
That's
shout out
sick.
Shawnee Freeman for asking the dumbest question to Corey.
Oh, go on.
Because, Corey goes, this is only the second time I've ever travelled out of the US to play disc golf. And Sean's like, oh, cool. What was the other time? He's like, the European Open. So funny. Well done, Shawnee.
Oh, amazing, Shawnee. That's amazing.
Now, I want to ask a non-disc golf related question for a little bit. So, New Zealand, did you enjoy an establishment called The Hangar by any chance?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't actually have my passport on me, so I wasn't allowed in.
So you get this right.
Oh, no.
We go to this place.
Yep.
This is
Actually-
after we caught the red eye in, mind you. We've just had an hour of sleep on the plane, cooked ourselves on a couple of courses, played Bella, lost all our discs.
In the rain.
In the rain, then we go to get a feed. We sit down, we order.
Menu's looking very good.
Very good Philly cheesesteak. We had it the next night. It was bad. But anyway, we all go to order, and then this lovely purple-haired, nose-ringed manager came over and said, have you got ID? And we're like, yeah, no worries. Here's our ID. Oh, no, I can't accept Australian driver's license. Have you got your passports? Dylan and Dave Perry trudge out to the car, get their passports, bring it in. Yep, no worries. Then we're joined by Austin and Reese Wisniewski.
Yeah.
Austin's got his passport. Reese has a photo of his passport. No. She kicks us out. She's
All
like,
of us.
All
we're
of
like,
you.
All
I
six
go
of
over
us.
to him do you mind? We're just floating on the red eye. We just want to feed. We're not going to drink. We've got our license, got our passports, got a photo of the passport. And she's like, no, you got to get out.
That's wild.
Wow.
Not only that, we go back the next
next night.
night. We roll in at 7:10 at night. Just want to get a feed. They're packing up. Like, sorry, we're closed.
That was the night after. The next night
Oh.
we rolled up. The security guard was out the front asking for passports
That's right.
before you went in. So I reckon
Don't ask me why we kept going to this place.
Yeah.
And then
So
we
we
went
rock
back
up
the
at
next night.
10
Surely
past
there's
7.
somewhere else in New Zealand.
Nah, this was like 2 minutes
Fourth
from home.
night.
There was a fourth night. But the third night we rock up, 7:10. They're packing up. They're like, no, we're closed. And
Wow.
Dill points to the sign. He says, it says open 7 days a week, 12 till late.
7
We're like,
p.m.
what?
till late, and it was
11
10 past
late.
7.
What the hell?
Goodness
So
me.
we rocked up the
Wow.
next night, and it was trivia night, but there was this table left for us, so that was
Yeah.
actually all right.
Yeah.
Decent feed.
And you didn't
but-
get kicked out.
Nah.
Well, we just avoided that lady.
Jeez, you must have stank.
After we got kicked out, we went to a pub down the road and they served us no worries. And the guy was like, so what was her problem?
Far out.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was
All right.
shocking.
The
So,
Hangar.
We basically
no
went...
sponsorships coming in from the hangar.
No.
You
We
guys
basically
suck.
went back just so that we could, if they happened to get audited and they're like, have you got your passports? We're like, nah, the lady just let us in. We've been drinking all day. We just wanted to get them fined. So anyway, off topic, but
No, good
very
story.
funny.
I like a good disc golf travel story. Yeah, so the level, like we've talked about, a bit of level of play, which has been huge. I mean, I know in the background, Dill, you've been working pretty hard. You've been doing your physio. You've been doing all of this sort of stuff. So did you go into this, what was the mental sort of game going into this? Was it, look, it's a huge field, no expectation. We do know that you felt, you had a good performance at Champs. So that's probably gave you a little bit of confidence there. But, yeah, how did you feel going into it?
Yeah, like I said, I had a good performance at Champs. My back hadn't felt that good. Hadn't felt any better than that since then, so I hadn't really played very much. So that, on top of not knowing if I was going to be able to throw when I got over there, I was initially just happy if I could get through a round and play a new course. I love playing new courses. So yeah, like in our practice rounds, I was throwing one shot a hole, only forehand.
And you
Just
said
kind
it.
of-
You said, if I'm, who wants a caddy if I have to pull out? Like,
Yeah.
you were worried that you wouldn't make it through 4 rounds.
Yeah, I was worried I was going to pull out through round one, looking at the course.
That's me at league.
On the red course.
So yeah, expectations were just I want to just play. Round one was probably, it was terrible weather, but probably perfect for me because I was happy to be playing, so I was pretty relaxed, and it was 50-kilometre-hour winds, so I think everyone kind of suffered, and I managed to stay relatively clean. And then once I started playing with those guys, I was like, oh, righto, if I can just maintain, who knows what could happen. And
I love how you're not nervous.
Yeah.
Our first 6 holes, I think we had 8 lost discs.
Wow.
Or
Yeah, it was-
close to loss. We found it after 2 minutes.
It was
just.
rough. Yeah.
It was so hard.
I mean, I've played Feezy's joint, and it was, not manicured or anything then, and it was pretty tight.
It's pretty wild.
And it would have been I'm sure he would have manicured a bit more, and for event of this scale. But
Yeah.
the rough was rough. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Like
it was hard.
forest.
And you get some tricky spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But no, I think I saw the relief firsthand, Dill. Like the start of the tourney, you were like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. And then just like once you played well and got through 1 or 2 rounds, your confidence levels went way sky high. And does that kind of put you in good stead for the season? Like I noticed you've signed up for Sizzler. Do you think the body's good enough to get through all the big Aussie majors this year?
Well, yeah, like I said, it's kind of, I mean, my back is changing all the time. And so that's kind of shown me it was not feeling great, but when I have a good routine, it seems to get me through pretty well without affecting me during the round. So like it's been pretty sore since New Zealand, but as long as I keep on top of things and don't do anything stupid, it's kind of given me a bit of confidence that I can play largely unaffected as long as I do the right thing.
All right, so let's lock down a schedule. What are we playing? We're playing Sizzler.
We're playing Sizzler.
Vic Open's
We're
next.
playing Vic Open next.
Yep.
I'm getting married early April, so I got a couple of 7 weeks actually.
So a bit of a setback.
So I got a couple of months off after Sizzler.
Shout out,
See you, Dylan. See you
Shout out
later.
to beautiful Ali.
It's nice
Shout out
knowing you,
to
mate.
Ali. Yeah, well.
Yep.
No, I just earned myself a new full-time caddy, so I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so and then after that, I got Queensland Open in July.
Yep.
And then I've got 6 or 7 2-day events, weekend events around Victoria after that before Eruption and Nationals. So that's what it looks like. But
You have gone back to uni this year.
I am going back to uni in July.
Yeah.
So I've got a year and a half left on my course. So, but all the events after that point are kind of Saturday, Sunday. So as long as they don't send me back to Tassie like they did a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
I should be largely unaffected, which is great.
I mean, it was a decent little paycheck that came through for that third spot there. I think it was, what, $1,000 US? Something
800 US, so $1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody oath. There's the Australian tour played for. But yeah, look, a question came in, like, do you ever see yourself playing like the US tour or a European sort of event or anything like that? Might not be on the cards this year with a wedding to pay for, but yeah, is it on your radar, Dill?
It has been on my radar for a while. I was going to go over to the States last year to play in Champions Cup, which would have been very cool. And then I don't know if you've heard, but I hurt my back. So
You need your back. Yeah.
So I didn't end up doing that, but I know Worlds is in Sweden, Finland next year, 2025. So I've got my eyes on that.
Is that
and
the beast?
I've talked to Ellie and
Nokia.
she's very keen. So I know we're having a bit of a delayed honeymoon, so that might be a possibility. Sneak that in there.
Have another joust with Corey, I reckon.
Yeah,
He'll certainly
But
be back.
I'd love to get over to the States, but I mean everyone would. So I don't know how realistic that is. I think Worlds next year is the go.
Europe would be pretty cool. I mean, it'd be cool to go see, flick over to Sweden, see Latitude as well. Didn't you meet someone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I met one of the.
Who'd you meet?
Put him on the spot. He didn't catch the guy's European name, Paddy. Give him a break.
So the guy's name.
Magnus Carlsen, I believe it was.
David Berglund?
So he's really good at chess. But no, I met one of the guys that kind of explained to me he was one of the co-owners of House of Discs,
Yeah.
which recently bought Latitude 64.
And what, he come up to you and said, I own you?
He came up to me and he's like,
Literally money fell out of his pocket. It was amazing.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so he was a really nice fellow and it was nice to meet him and
Followed you around for a bit, didn't he?
followed me around for all of round 3, I think it was, which was pretty cool. It was very, very cool. We had a good chat and
Yeah. Super cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe you can buy your ticket over there.
I just don't know what his name was. So I can't really
That's gold. Well, Dill, we thank you very much for coming into the booth, not just on the phone, but you have come all the way from your house down the street to Paddy's house.
Above and
all
beyond for you
150
guys.
metres.
above and beyond.
No, we do appreciate you coming into the booth. Congrats again on a huge performance at New Zealand. Stoked that you're back in the 4-digit club at 10.08 and the highest rated player in the country. We look forward to many big things this season over in the Aussie majors. I'm about to say US majors. That'd be a dream, but the Aussie majors.
I'm sure you've felt a bit of
fellas.
love too. I've seen a lot of love getting around a few of the socials too. So, no, I think everyone's pretty stoked for you, mate.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, next up on the phone, we've got Dan Frost all the way from Canberra. He's going to tell us a little bit about the upcoming Sizzler. but he also has no idea we're about to call him. So let's have some fun.
Paddy.
Hey, mate. How you going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good. Guess what?
What?
You're live on the tee off, mate.
Oh, are you serious?
Thanks for coming on, Big Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Thanks for the warning. Appreciate it.
So just before we get stuck into our deep dive questions, you're wearing the tee off bucket hat we sent you, right now.
Absolutely.
Apparently, that's the only thing he's wearing right now.
Yeah, you are naked in the bath, I hope.
I call it my bath hat for that very reason.
Now, Dan, we are calling you because you tried to put one of your mates on the spot to come on the tee off. I think it was TD Adam, but yeah, I've got your number, so called you instead.
Easy.
Yeah.
No worries.
So,
Happy to
mate,
help.
how is the course shaping up? Like, Paddy, first of all, Paddy, myself, and Fergie, we're devoed. We can't make it, mate. We've obviously spoken to you in the DMs and said, we got invited to a bloody wedding.
I think Dan's probably only the person who's more devoted than we are.
Yeah, not wrong.
Genuinely devastated. Have not got over it, but
Dylan here, Dan. I'm looking forward to coming. I wasn't invited, so I'll definitely be at the Sizzler. Thanks, Ryan.
Australia's highest rated player.
Yeah, that's it.
Am I?
Someone's been paying attention to the ratings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go up this month, Dan?
Say again.
Did you go
no,
up?
I haven't played since eruption. So.
Oh well, no red numbers,
Same
a good
thing.
number.
That's it.
Did you look at how much Tim went up?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I
Go
went
on.
up too. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so
Beautiful. That's like 50% of your rating. Isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Any green is great right now. No, but mate, how's the course? So it's not just the standard Western. You've given us the scoop that there's been some adjustments, and how's it looking?
Yeah, so there's been a few of us involved with kind of adjusting the course a little bit from last year. I think last year we played on the standard layout, but we just wanted to test a few things because we've got nationals coming up in a couple of years and we want to try a few different ideas out. This year we're going to have two layouts, intermediate and advanced. You guys are probably more interested in the advanced layout.
That's yeah. I'm keen to hear about the intermediate layout.
Getting ready for next year. So, lengthening some holes, making some baskets a little bit more tricky, creating a few new holes, including the water carrier that, I don't know if you've guys seen that hole. It's going to be pretty interesting to see who goes for it and who takes the left line, the suckers line out the left.
I heard there's going to be quite a few discs in the drink. That's what I heard from Austin.
Well, Tim, the wedding's only one day, right? You can come up on Sunday, Monday and do the fishing out of the water, right?
Mate, I've got the scoop for you here, Dan. I'm coming up this weekend, so I might hit you up for a round so I can go and throw a disc in. What's the lake there called?
Lake Burley Griffin.
Yeah, I'll chuck a few discs in Lake Burley Griffiths. That'll be great.
What's the
Beautiful.
distance the water carry?
It's around 110 to the water's edge, but there's a few trees that line the edge, so you can actually hit a tree and drop in. That's happened quite a lot.
Okay, so that's a berg all day.
I was out throwing some with Adam Rigby, trying to get some footage for that video I released, and took him 6 goes to get over, I think. So that gives you an idea.
So you just got to go over the trees then.
Yeah, there is a safe hyzer option. There's a few different options. It's a really interesting hole.
What's the most aggressive line? Come on.
Oh, it'd be a late stalling hyzer that nestles up to the basket. The tricky thing is that there's usually a headwind and often a really strong headwind on that hole, so you better bring some stable discs.
Perfect.
Surely the dangerous line is the skip shot off the water, but
Read for
you
style.
throw your hyzer, mate. You throw your hyzer.
You guys can go for whatever you like. I'm taking the suckers route because I'm not getting another bloody 10, that's for sure.
I'm going to get you on film, Timmy, doing at least one attempt.
All right.
Yeah.
Deal.
For hype.
I actually love that you've brought in the water a bit more. Like, that's a perfect opportunity in that area to actually, bring it in instead of just the water's edge. Yeah.
We've eyed it off for a while, toyed with the idea of making a few non-standard kind of ridiculous black level holes, but yeah, finally found a spot. Hopefully there's not too many picnickers around. It's a pretty popular spot, but yeah, making good use of the water. We don't really get a chance to do that very often because it's pretty popular around the water, but, it's been approved, so let's go.
Yeah, sweet.
That's unreal.
Now,
more importantly, sorry, you're going to ask Paddy?
I was going to say, who was driving the drone on hole one?
Oh, there's a good story behind that. It's a friend of mine, Stephen Kapongsi, who's new to disc golf,
Great name.
bought a drone for this very project, and it lagged out at the exact worst time that it could possibly lag out, and we just watched it on his phone. We watched it crash into the tree, and then it was a 230-metre run for him down the fairway to go see if it had broken, but luckily it was all good.
Okay.
So
It hit
drone
like the
survived.
guardian tree, though. That's just so beautiful. It hit the one
Poetic.
tree.
It was poetic. We did laugh about it afterwards, but gee, my heart was going when it
that's funny.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, full on.
Now, Dan, I need to get a tip. We've done our tips. Who are you actually fancying for this tourney?
Well, I think my thoughts have changed a few times in recent times. I think Bill's performance over in New Zealand was pretty eye-opening. He looks like he's back to crushing it. And he'll probably be the first to admit, didn't have a great putting performance in Nationals, but still amazing performance. Like if he was sinking those putts, he was right up there. So I probably fancy Bill as kind of the non-Canberran, but my Canberran pick, Jade, is actually coming into a lot of form again. He's got the new bag. He's dialing it in. And I think if he locks in, he can get really hot scores every round. So I'd say it's probably between Jade and Dill for me.
Now,
Jade being the carryover champ.
when you say new
Yeah.
bag, do you mean new discs or a new bag?
Both.
Both. Yeah, he's got
Both.
the new little pound bag.
He's
and got
rocking the
end of
Rufus.
disc. Yeah.
He's rocking the Rufus. I was very jealous of the Rufus.
What new discs is he rocking?
Innova, 100%.
Really? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is he sponsored?
No.
He's got 5 moulds in his bag. He just got sick of paying top dollar for the Innova made Discmania disc. So he's gone smarter and gone with the Innova made
But
Innova
the funny
disc.
thing is, he turns his nose down at me and Austin for having all the ridiculous discs. But he's got the ridiculous discs plus a whole new bag. So he's spent more than us anyway.
Plus he's got the second pound. That's got to rack up a bit of a bill. But yeah, he's rocking 5 moulds. I think he's got Destroyer, Firebird, T-Bird, AVR, and he must throw a mid-range. Rock 3. There you go.
Yeah.
It's cool. There's a lot I like about that. Yeah.
Go on, Matt Bell on us.
He needs a Wraith. Throw a Wraith in there, buddy.
Well, he said he
Or a
bought
beast.
16 Destroyers. 16, and they're all different.
Well, it wasn't from the bloody Frisbee, from the flying disc store, that's for sure.
Oh, he's
Come on, mate.
sponsored by Ginny.
Doesn't matter, mate. Get on board.
Nah, good tips, Dan. I've definitely jumped on the Dylan bandwagon, as a lot of us are doing, I think. But good to hear Jade's back in form because he's been throwing some shocking rounds out there lately, if I do say so.
No comment.
That says it all.
All right, Dan. Well, thanks for the the spare of the moment.
Hey,
Oh,
before we go, tell us about that amazing ace on hole, what was it,
yeah.
11?
Oh,
17?
yeah. So, you'll be happy to hear we've installed all of the rad baskets around the place, so the course is looking schmick.
Ooh-wee.
Western
And,
Park now catches your disc.
And are they going okay, Dan?
Yeah, they are. The feedback's been really good. Everyone likes how bright the band is, and you can see it from miles away. And look, it wasn't a dig on RPM that we did this. It was for 2 reasons. One, we had a new course in Tuggeranong we needed baskets for, so we were able to transfer all the RPMs down there. But we also wanted to sleeve the new baskets so we can look at alternate layouts going forward.
Nice.
But yeah, the ace, look, I don't know if you had much to do with dimensions of the basket, but putting the rim, the top band just inside the dimensions of the cage was very handy for that ace, and it popped in after sitting in the tree for about 5 seconds. So it's great.
As my wife said, it's all about the millimetres, mate. So I can tell you now that I did design that specifically for that purpose, mate. So I'm glad that worked out for you.
And we all know that Fergie's favourite part of the basket is the cage. So no wonder he put time into it.
I like a bit of pole as well, but that's fine. That's no, that's awesome, mate. It looked like it was a pretty little sneaky ace there. So nice work.
Yeah, very tasty.
Oh, sick. Dan getting some good tree love.
It's
We
not like
commented
me at
on that.
all.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Not like me at all.
Deciduous Dan.
That's it. Deciduous Dan.
That nickname has held for far too long.
Yes.
Hoping to get some very bad tree luck on film sometime soon so I can get rid of it.
Mate, you got the double bumper at Eruption. No one will forget about that.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
That's awesome. Well, thanks heaps for coming on, Dan. We threw to you with no warning whatsoever just to get a bit of insight into the Sizzler. As I said, Paddy and Fergie and I are just absolutely devoed. We can't make it, but we wish you all the best for a smooth comp and hopefully you get out there and shred it yourself.
Thanks, mate. Just while we're throwing each other under the bus, there's some messages in your inbox, Flying Disco and Tee-Off, for some sponsorship opportunities for Sizzler if you want to have a look. But yeah, just get back to us. Thanks, mate.
We've exhausted our sponsorship allotment for the year. Our $0 didn't go very far, unfortunately. So
No, I reckon we can throw it out.
I'm opening the email as we speak, Dan.
Beautiful.
count us in, Dan. Paddy's in charge of the money. Count us in.
All right, good on you, Dan.
Into the spreadsheet as we speak. Thanks, guys.
No, worries. Good on you, mate.
See you, mate.
Yeah, bye.
Deciduous Dan, I'm stoked that's that's still hanging around.
I'm stoked he answered. That could have been a real flat phone call.
All right, so just maybe wrapping up, just a quick sort of segment. There was another part of news, like we can just throw to this quickly because we did throw it out onto the Instagram sort of comments and for people to sort of send in. But there was a bit of news. The U-Disc has now separated from DGPT. They unfortunately will not, Pro Tour will not be using them for U-Disc Live. And they're now, so Statmando has come in under the PDGA, and PDGA and Statmando have obviously linked in with Pro Tour, and they'll be doing their thing together. Which apparently they're saying will develop new features. There'll be stats, analytics and stuff, moving forward to help with the live broadcast and, live scores and everything. But I was a little bit surprised to see this information, to be honest, and this announcement, because they've been, U-Disc Live has been with DGPT for 8 years.
Oh, that long? I didn't realise.
Yeah. Or 8 seasons, sorry. 8 seasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's been a long time. And I don't know what this means for the grippies. But
No more.
Yeah.
No more grip 6, pick 6.
Yeah. I mean,
Shattered.
we'll do it anyway.
Oh,
But-
we're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we run
but-
my illustrious spreadsheet anyway.
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty huge news. I mean, everyone was already arcing up about the U-Disc price increase, and people think it's related to this. U-Disc need to make more money because they've separated from Disc Golf Pro Tour, but that's not the case.
No.
The price increase came in like months and months ago before this news was even eventuating. So
It was weird. Like, I saw some comments on people saying there was another increase, but not the case.
it's the same one that went down. Yeah.
Which
It's
was
just
weird.
they gave us a lot of notice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the price of U-Disc is still 50 Australian.
Yep.
So-
50 Aussie, 30 US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still nothing really, but we did throw it out. So we just asked our listeners like what they thought of this news and what they thought of all the the price increase and the whole thing in general. And yeah, there was a few people sort of right back. So Nathan said that the U-Disc price, exactly what you said, Tim, was announced 5 months ago. It costs less than one disc, and he uses it all the time. It's easy. And he also said it's called U-Disc Premium, not U-Disc Penny Pincher. Nobody's forcing them to pay for it. And you can actually do a free option as well as pay for premium.
A free option, it includes, you can have at least 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, you
like
can
stored.
you can create this scorecard and you can do all that sort of stuff. But I think
And find courses.
jumping in with friends and the ratings and all that sort of stuff and having your full history and all that is a part of the premium package.
It is a big increase, though. It is a bit of annoying if you really can't afford that because
Yeah.
you may have had the access to all this stuff for a few years now. As you said, Udis have been around for ages as like the one and only app that everyone uses for their casual rounds. So it is a bit of annoyance that you have to fork out more for something that you had for a much cheaper price.
Yeah.
That's just inflation. Bloody inflation. I just want to point out, I've got 1,059 rounds in UDisc. And one
What?
lesser known feature of UDisc that you might not know about is you can actually have a look at the head-to-head stats versus players that you've played with. Did you know this?
This is a new thing as well.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
yeah.
it was
In
maybe
the last,
we just didn't know about it. But
So
Okay.
I've actually pulled up my head-to-head stats, Paddy, if you're interested.
All right.
I have
hit me,
played...
Tim.
I have beaten you 16 times, Paddy.
And what's it go the other way, mate?
49. So there's rough trotting. Fergie, ours is closer.
Yep.
We've had a total of 13 rounds. Did you know that?
Okay, there you go.
Do you reckon you could get out and maybe reply to my messages? a bit more? It's 7-6 my way. So,
Okay, that's yeah.
Next time
most
we
of
play,
those were in
It's
the
on.
previous century, but that's fine.
And Dylan, yours is a bit murkier because you've got about 95 UDisc accounts. So I've got Dylan the Feldman, Dill the Pickle. There's one, the one that I'm using
keep
most
doing free
is called
accounts.
Dylan Feldman, and your photos from when you were 9. So they might not be the most current one, but that's one I've got. And I've beaten you 7 times. You've beaten me 30. So yeah.
Remember your password, Dylan. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Next up, it'll be Dill, highest rated in Australia.
Next up it'll be Kyle Fredman.
Yeah, Kyle Fredman.
Out of interest, do you have a full account? Premium Pro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Paddy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dill? Okay, sweet.
Well, like
I'll just claim mine, so that I don't give a shit.
there's a cool. I've got a smartwatch over the summer, and you can link it into UDisc. Man, that's been really cool. Just for the rounds, getting around and.
Does it work with Aldi smartwatches?
Maybe. Maybe.
Sweet, I'm in.
No, but UDisc, you may not be aware of it because people think, it's just probably 2 guys running UDisc making all this cash. They've got 25 employees.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
actually quite a substantial company.
It's huge.
And providing the stats for the Pro Tour is like a big deal. They need somebody, or at least trying to coordinate all the places around the states, getting people to actually put in the stats, register, this putt was from 20 feet, this putt was from 30 feet. It's a bigger deal than they may, you may not be aware of how big of a deal it is. And now that that's going to be run by the PDGA, there's going to be some hiccups.
Yeah.
PDGA don't get many things right straight away.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that there's going to be some hurdles to overcome, and we're going to see how it all goes down at thechess.com because that's when they're rolling out their scoring system and their stats system. So hopefully it's as good or close to UDisc Live.
Statmando was acquired by
Yeah,
PDGA?
they're under the PDJ now. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah. So some other people sent in Recircuit. He said he's not a fan of gambling in the press notes from the Pro Tour announcement whether they could now monetize event stats.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I haven't really heard it taken that far, but I know part of the reason why the PDGA wanted to do it themselves is because UDIS actually owned the stats in the past. So, it could be for gambling and betting reasons.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Hopefully, you've just said you've played 1,000 ratings on UDIS. To capture some of that, those statistics to actually take back to councils and stuff would be pretty handy. Hey, did you know Barn Valley has been played, thousands of times?
If you're ambassador of a course, though, you do get all those stats
Yeah?
delivered to you. Yeah. Like
Okay.
if you're, as a course designer, I'm allowed to put myself as an ambassador of a course. So then I'm, monthly, whatever, I'm delivered reports on usage and all the rest of it. Just like anyone else can be who, if they're a local club and they want to kind of get those stats as well. So it is accessible.
Cool. All right, good. Didn't know that.
Next one, Paddy.
Darren Stay Smith says, it stinks worse than Bigfoot's donger. All right. Keeping it classy, Daz. Love it. Disc Golf Terry, so T-Bose.
Me dad. Come on, Dad.
He said, I gave up using it when it went to $20 a year.
That's just because he lets me score for him every bloody time. Classic Tez.
Really? You can't afford 20 a year on the pension, Tez?
Come on, mate. That's a bag of smackos for the Jack Russells.
You're not wrong. Stop wasting your dog treats on the Magpies and maybe you could afford UDIS Premium, Dad.
And then Connor Donnelly says he thinks they should have a tiered membership. So $10 for unlimited rounds, $25 for stats and ratings, up there, which, yeah,
It's
maybe.
not a bad idea because the part of the pro package, you get like 20 things and nobody wants 19 of them. They just want all of their rounds.
Yeah.
So not a bad idea.
Have you ever measured your disc, like the length?
Well, excuse me.
On your disc.
I don't have to answer that.
Disc. Like
Nah, to be honest, I haven't done it for a long time, but early
Yeah.
days I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, like most people that measure the distance they've thrown is probably a better way to put it, Paddy. Unless you wait for it to actually hone in on your spot, you know, you're inflating your ego with false numbers.
Yeah.
Well,
I usually just put my finger there and then open it up, and then that's the length. So
I did measure. I was a fan of measuring back in the days
I
before,
bet you were. Yeah.
before I hurt my back and can't throw far anymore. But I did it once and then measured it again with something that was not unreliable, and it was pretty much spec.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, nice.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Has anyone done the ratings?
No, I've got
The
zero
UDIS
clue.
ratings? Yeah.
No clue
I
what
know
the ratings.
what is it? 300's like the best of the best.
Yeah.
And, yep.
I
didn't
did
even know that.
According to Brody Smith, yeah.
Yeah, like 300 relates to like 1100 or
Right.
something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I did laugh. I think it was Chris Saxby was talking about it. Like a mate of his was creating scorecards with him without his, you know, he was a state away and he was playing and he was putting like +4, +4, +4 and like destroying his like UDIS rating. So I was like, oh, that's a bit shit. So yeah, apparently you can do that too.
No,
so
that's funny.
to your friends.
That's good.
Yeah, but I haven't really looked much into the ratings thing either.
That'll be a
Anyway,
+4. I'll be happy with that. That's fine.
all right. And just to finish it off, we did have a couple of questions outside of all of this sent in. So
Actually, I've got one more thing before you jump there.
please.
One bit of news I forgot to lead with. Jeremy Rusko.
yeah,
You know, he was the owner of Dynamic Discs before he sold to House of Discs.
Yeah.
He bought Emporia Country Club.
oh wow,
So he's the new owner of Emporia Country Club over in Kansas,
That's
which
sick.
obviously hosts
Sick.
the DDO, the Glassbone Open.
yeah,
So, yeah, he's got big plans for that, turning it into a sort of, as far as I read, a like nerd mecca, just with like pickleball. He'll probably have bloody chess running on the sides and just
Mahjong.
putting in like a good brewery and lots of disc golf related stuff. So,
Wow.
could be pretty cool.
Okay.
That's
Look
cool.
out.
There you go. Start a disc golf business, sell it, and then buy a country club.
I wonder like how it goes because isn't it? It's a good golf club. Yeah, good golf course as well, isn't it? No?
I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah. Oh,
It
well,
ain't no Inverleigh, but I don't know.
yeah.
Oh no, it didn't look that good, but
No.
I think the main
But there's
complaints
infrastructure,
with
yeah? Like there's a clubhouse and there's all that
certainly,
stuff.
and he's taking that a step further. So I think he's got like $500,000 committed from like Emporia councils and things like that to build up this sort of, you know, sporting metropolis, I guess. But
Okay. Cool.
Sick.
yeah, very cool. I think the main blight against this one is the fact that it's in the middle of nowhere as far as, you know, US states and cities, you know, are concerned.
Yeah.
Emporia, Kansas is like famous for disc golf, and that's about it. I don't think there's many other things there.
Yeah. Right.
Tornadoes?
Which, tornadoes, okay. There you go. It's pretty windy. Yep.
Wait, should we find the equivalent of that in Australia? Where's like
Molong.
Molong, yeah.
Molong. Beautiful disc golf course. Fantastic people. What the hell
Great
else can you
people.
do in Molong? I mean, no, the RSL's got a full-size pool table. That's
Yeah.
a bonus.
That's a good spot.
Does it have a hanger?
Oh, it probably has a similar hanger. Bring your passport deal to Molong just in case.
All right. Pat Veras has sent in, what tournament are you boys looking forward to the most this season?
Eruption. I'm going to birdie hole 17.
Eruption? All right.
6 shots
You
better.
heard it here first.
I'd like to play Eruption, so it's definitely on my list.
Yeah.
And Vic Open as well. I'd like to see that. Well, it's back at Inverleigh, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Nice deal.
Is it 4 rounds again, Vic Open? Or just back to 3? Yep.
3 days, 3
Fair
rounds.
enough. Do we know if Chance
Oh,
is
was
gonna-
it? I thought it was 2. No?
No, 3
I
rounds.
thought it was
Friday,
2.
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Take
That's
work
changed.
off, Paddy. And
Yeah, probably.
Champs is 3 again, isn't it?
Champs is 3.
Mate, just like the New Zealand Champs being 4 rounds, massive. And I
Yeah.
just remember Vic Open last year being 4 rounds. It was bloody awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
And the
change.
weekends have changed for champs as well. So you got the
Yeah,
games
yeah.
and lower divisions on the second
Open
weekend.
first.
So they may have stuffed me over with uni there, but
Oh,
it
really?
was going to line up perfectly, but it could be a bit of a
Ah,
squeeze.
blow uni off.
Yeah, who needs a job? So I'm going to say Vic Open, I think,
Yeah?
at Inverleigh. I haven't really historically performed very well at Vic Open. So liking it.
I mean, Eruption is always going to be great. But I had such a good time at Queensland last year.
I don't think it's going to be at Pine, though.
Yeah, that's okay.
I heard rumours, I don't know the full story behind this, but I believe Liam Downing, shout out to Liam, I think he may have acquired like a 9-hole golf course.
Okay.
And apologies, Liam, if all these facts are incorrect. I heard it second, third, fourth hand. So he's like, that's big news, I think.
Yeah.
Having a disc golfer acquiring a nice patch of land and putting in an 18-holer, I think. So
I think they're 18 Rad Ace V2s, actually.
Okay.
sick.
So there you go. Spoiler
okay.
alert. Sorry, Liam.
So, I was bummed. I'm like, oh, not at Piney, but that sounds bloody awesome. And Liam's a good disc golfer, so hopefully it's a nice course.
Looking
What's
forward
wrong
to
with
that.
Piney?
No, I loved Piney.
Oh,
I was like, I was
yeah,
bummed it's not there. Like, I was
okay,
like
yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward to playing that course again because that was
yeah.
bloody awesome. Queensland Open was close to the best comp last year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably interesting. That'll be cool. Thanks, Pat. Ben Kennedy has sent in: should ADGC change the date to suit the Tour Down Under next year? Match with NZ champs.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. I'm going to say no. I don't reckon they should. I reckon it should be something else because Oz champs rotates. It goes around. It's shared around, and unless it stays at one place every year, it doesn't really make sense to match it up with New Zealand. Because if it's over in Perth, then it just doesn't make sense.
Is the NZ Champs, is that the end of the tour? Is it part of the tour or is it its own standalone?
NZ
beast?
Champs is this year it was
second?
the third event of
Yep.
the. No, it was the second.
Yep.
Second event of the tour.
Second.
Yeah. And I think from all accounts, they're looking to run the same thing next year.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so that's the difference between the two things, though, because you've got the Aussie Champs has always been the penultimate, the final event on the Australian Tour, kind of decides the champion, blah blah, that kind of stuff. Or sorry, the Tour champion. But this, NZ Champs is its own standalone. It's like the USDGC. It's towards the end of the season in that case, but like that is its own kind of event.
I think obviously the pros, and this is what it's obvious to everybody is. We're getting the pros coming all the way across the world to play New Zealand events. If we put our big national comp alongside the Tour Down Under, there's a good chance we might get them tacking on, an Aussie leg or two to their trip.
It doesn't. What my point is though, it doesn't have to be champs.
It doesn't have to be champs.
So it doesn't have champs has that ring to it and stuff. But I actually don't really like having the big names come to champs. I kind of like that Aussie champs is Aussie players and we crown the Australian champ. But that's beside the point. I more so I'd think like an Aussie Open to link into that, or the Sizzler has every right to scale up to be an incredible event that could run alongside this.
Mate, I'm just putting together a tour in my head right now. Eruption, Mount Gambier, you travel through Vic to play at Inverleigh. Then you travel up to Canberra to play a Western comp. Yeah. All the way up to Queensland to play Piney.
And then you squeak the Ruffy Rumble in there. And you're looking absolutely brilliant.
The little 2-rounder, one dayer.
Well, yeah, we've got some incredible spots on the East Coast. It doesn't have to be a champs. It could be just a large scale event that could be, the start of an Aussie leg of their Tour Down Under.
So, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
I think the conversation needs to start. There's some committee needs to get formed and people need to come together and try and, put this in the future a few years down the track, but it's definitely on the cards. There needs to be some sort of consolidation of all these events and get the pros over from the US. And
I think the thing with nationals too, Paddy, is, and you can't undervalue this, if a US player is struggling to qualify for Champions Cup, they actually get a seat if they win nationals. So I think that's probably the main reason we saw Andrew Fish come to our Nats.
Yeah.
Fortunately, didn't get the job done. Kudos, Bainey.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit of a good carrot to dangle in front of them to say, okay, I didn't get the points. I don't actually know how you qualify for that, but I didn't get the seat that I needed to get into Champions Cup. I can go to Australia, beat some Aussies. Do they know much about disc golf?
Yeah,
and get in that way.
You know what? That sucks. Having Andrew Fish here, having Drew Gibson, having Jennifer come over is amazing, but at the same time, like where Aussies are putting like a really big effort into this huge event. And honestly, I'm hoping that one of our, like we've got a lot of talent here, gets the opportunity to go over and experience that. And they just want to come over here for some easy pickings to get into that. I mean, Andrew Fisher's like a fucking incredible player, and he could play that anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the reason to.
No. It's probably not at all.
It was just my example.
100%. But I know that the New Zealand tour has attracted more people because it does have those, like some of them are starting to be qualifiers. Like, so, and we've done it in the past with, the PDJ majors at the Aussie Open, being able to go and play qualifiers for USDGC, the Champions Cup. Now, like, I'd love that. I love to see that. And I would love to see Aussies, I was lucky enough to qualify for USDGC. I would love to see more Aussies given that opportunity without having, pros come over and try and pick it off. But yeah,
Do you think that's the kind of competition that needs to happen for us to, for Aussies, for players, rising talents to have that experience and beat people at that level?
That's a small asterisk on them coming over because it's huge because they come over, they see all this young talent, like they've watched Levi Stout come over and play. They say like, you guys can actually do this. They're bringing in new sponsors. It's not a bad thing that they come over. I would just like to see maybe, not just like them come over to try and pick it. I want them to come over and say, hey, we want to come over to see the culture, see these amazing courses, play high quality disc golf, and maybe, win some cash, have a good holiday and experience something here, like more than just, qualifying for an event. It's more than that. Yes. But,
Bloody long way to come across the world to Australia or New Zealand, though. So I would like to see something put alongside the tour down under. So the answer to that question from Ben, when he asked it 15 minutes ago, was yes.
And I can tell you that the folks over in New Zealand are keen for it to happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've called it
Henry about it.
Yeah, they've called it the tour down under. I'm sure with.
I found that a bit weird, actually.
Bit of an agenda, surely.
Like they sort of stole our little.
It's a funny one. Yeah.
Is New Zealand down under?
You see Corey Ellis posting, "I love my time down under." I'm like, you weren't down under. You were in New Zealand.
It's a bit weird.
Over there.
Most people.
This is maybe trash or cash borderline call this. Is New Zealand down under?
This is Lamingtons. This is Pavlova. This is all of those things. This is the discussion. Who owns it? Who owns down
under? If you like Pavlova, just a little.
You touched on a very controversial subject, Fergie. We had a like. I'm not a big fan of Pavs. Look, I'm just honest. It's
not
an okay
anymore.
dessert.
Not anymore. I can't eat them anymore.
Can't eat it. What's that?
I don't know. It's too much sugar.
Here we go,
boys. What's going on?
We said any ace down New Zealand, and I'm cooking Pavs for the boys. Sorry, and that's running all year.
Really?
Any ace in a tourney, I'm cooking a Pav, mate.
I might play the Ruffy Rumble then.
No, don't play Ruffy. Ruffy doesn't count.
No,
has to be over 50 metres.
If you listen closely, round 4, hole 18 on GK Pro, you hear me look over at Tim and say, for the Pav, before almost missing the island.
You know what?
Didn't look like going in. Go back and give that a watch.
I yelled out for the Pav, and everyone watching was like, who the fuck's this Drongo?
Drongo. That's another Australian.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, come on.
Might be Kiwi. I don't know.
That's a great, I've seen a few of the yell outs of people, mashed potatoes and that sort of stuff.
Lame.
But for the Pav, that's up there. I like that.
And just before we wrap up as well, there was another American disc golfer, pro touring player, in Australia when this whole kind of tour.
Ezra.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
So
put a shirt on. Put a shirt on.
I'm sorry, putting out up North Ride, just, haven't playing disc golf in Australia. What the hell was going on there?
Yeah, Reese Wiz was stoked to see Ezra play a course that he's designed. Amazing.
It's so weird.
It was weird. And you know what was weirder? You jump on and have a look at his Instagram because he the way he talked about those wicked baskets was...
sniped. How long have you been working on that impression?
Too long.
Okay. Fuck. All right, that's
we're done.
We're done. We're done.
Stick a fork in me.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Tee Off. Dylan Feldman, thank you for being here. Congrats on such an awesome performance in New Zealand. But thanks for being here in the booth too. Really appreciate it, mate.
Have me back, please.
Yeah. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Send in any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss. Until next time, we hope you get out and play some disc golf with your mates.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.